Well, hello there, YouTube. Here's another tip, you could say. Gloves. How many pairs of gloves do you have? How many do you own? How many do you use in a year? Do you buy new ones every year? How thick are they? How thin they are? So, since I ride in all the temperatures, between 80, 90 degrees till below zero, doesn't matter. I thought, well, shoot, how many pairs of gloves do I have? And to my amazement, I have 5 pairs of gloves. And, oh no, there's one more missing. Where's that other pair? Oh, there they are. Sorry. I have 6 pairs of gloves. So let's go down to gloves and see what you think. So it's good to have different gloves for different types of seasons because, one, you should always wear gloves because, one, they reduce the vibration on your hand because a lot of them have padded palms. 2, protection from the sun on your hands, bugs, things like that. I was out riding doing cicadas, 17-year cicadas. And man, you get smacked in the knuckle with one of those. They're the size of a hummingbird. So small hummingbird, man, it stings, just to say the least. So we got different size, different kinds, different temperatures, different reasons to wear gloves. Mainly just protect your hands as best as possible because usually they're exposed to all kinds of stuff. And you should wear, like I said, I wear a mesh coat, especially when I'm traveling. And then depending on the weather, whether I wear chaps, but at least a good pair of blue jeans and boots. Well, I saw a guy the other day wearing flip-flops, and every time I see somebody wearing flip-flops, I can think of seeing a picture of somebody's foot with the skin peeled off of it. It just takes a second. I've seen a lot of things in 20 years, and God, it's horrible to see that stuff. I seen a girl get her leg burned to crisp, basically from the exhaust, and a guy fell over from drinking, and the pipe hit her leg and burned it. So, yeah. Okay, let's back to the gloves. So, here we go with the different kinds of gloves. So, like days like today, I have these mesh gloves. For some reason, I got 2 pair, and I think I couldn't find these or whatever the case was. But these are fingerless, so they make it easy to operate the phone on the mount. These are the ones I wear all the time. You can see they're padded on the inside to reduce vibration and let your fingers touch things, and the gloves don't get in the way. You can also wear these mesh ones. The only problem is these don't work with the phone. Same thing, they're padded inside, they're mesh. Lets air flow through, especially with a road glide. Your hands are up in the air. You get a good flow across this, and it helps keep your hands actually cooler because you don't have the infrared sunlight hitting your hand. Just like the same with a mesh coat. They might be black, but actually my hands stay cooler wearing these. Same thing with this. They're all mesh, so it allows that air flow through. So they're really good for that. This is the wife's winter gloves, which with her hand is pretty protected. And she doesn't really wear these that often. They were just laying here. So back to this one. This is nice because it has the full finger. And like I said, on a 70-degree day, they're nice because they give you a little bit more protection. But on the 80 and 90, I'm more into this than this. Then when we get into our 60s, I'll wear these ones. Now they're just regular leather gloves. They're not insulated. They don't really have, they just double stitched here. They're not even extra padded here. But they got a little extra patches here and there, which really, realistically, not that big deal. But when it's like a summer rain or whatever, I was using these to waterproof my seat. They're a little bit waterproof. These aren't at all. So there you go. When it's below 60, wear these. These are just insulated gloves. They're a little bulky. They also have an extra little wear pad on it. It's not padded. It's just a wear pad for the weather to help keep your hands warm. But I found over time, I used to have liner inserts that go inside here. I think they're right here. Here's my liners. I'd put them in there and then power these with the heated gear, but it made my fingers too bulky, too tight between the liners, and then putting them in here, it was just way too much mass. So finally I broke down last year watching my buddy HDR with his heated gloves, and I said, well, I'll just need to buy a set of them. So I went ahead and got the regular heated ones. These are all waterproof. They don't have pads in here either, but man, it makes a big difference, especially on like a road glide where your hand's in the air. When I had a street glide or like a regular ultra, these were fine because my hand was behind the fairing a bit. So they didn't get so cold. My fingers didn't. Heated grips work great. But with heated grips in the air, like on a road glide where your hands are up higher, this doesn't work as well. You're better off with the heated grips or heated gloves. I mean, because now you got heat into your fingers and my hands stay really nice in the really cold weather. And he has this little wiper here, you could say, for wiping off your face shield or whatever, but well, I don't ever have that problem either, but that makes the difference. So there's the different gloves. And I usually, through this time of year, I'll have this pair of gloves, and I might have this pair of gloves in the bike at the same time. When I get into September into October, I usually switch to these, and these. And when I hit November, it's usually just these two all the way till February. Then I start going back up the line again. So it's good to have different kinds of gloves. And you think about how much this is invested right here. There's probably 300 or 400, well, 150, probably 100 almost, another 30 or 40, another 30 or 40. So probably $400 in gloves, if not somewhere around that area. And they're not cheap. That's for sure. Ain't none of this stuff ever cheap. I think the liners are like $50. I'm not sure anymore. So something to think about when you're riding, and what should you ride and what should you have on your bike. So you usually have 2 or 3 pairs of gloves, because if it gets too hot, I'll pull them out and put them on. Or if it gets too cold, I can throw these on. I got heated grips, so these work nice with heated grip when it's 60 degrees or so. When it's 70 or above, usually only these, somewhere on these kind of gloves. So other than that, that's riding gloves. Another tip for the day. And remember that you're watching Be the Rider PA. Subscribe, and I'll see what I can keep coming up with some better stuff. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.